Welcome back to WION World is One. You're watching Speed News with me, Vidur Kathuria. Let's get started. At least 15 people were killed in a Russian drone strike on a bus carrying mine workers in Ukraine's Dnipro region. The attack happened on the same day that a temporary reduction in Russian strikes announced by US President Donald Trump was set to end. Meanwhile, President Volodymyr Zelensky has postponed the second round of peace talks originally scheduled for Sunday to Wednesday. The trilateral talks involving Ukraine, the US and Russia will now take place in the UAE on Wednesday and Thursday. Residents of Kyiv found ways to embrace winter despite power and heating shortages, turning frozen rivers into outdoor playgrounds. Cars drifted across icy surfaces, children went sledding, and people gathered for a DJ-led dance party on the frozen Dnipro River. In Kyiv a day earlier, around 3,000 residents gathered on another frozen stretch for an outdoor party, circling a DJ and dancing on the ice. Japan says it has successfully retrieved sediment containing rare earth elements from a depth of 6,000 meters during a test mission. It marks a step towards reducing its reliance on China for the critical minerals. Government officials said the effort is believed to be the world's first attempt to extract deep-sea rare earths at that depth. The development comes amid rising tensions with China, the world's dominant supplier of rare earths. Beijing has recently increased pressure on Tokyo following remarks by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi last November, suggesting Japan could respond militarily to a potential Chinese attack on Taiwan, a territory China has vowed to bring under its control by force if necessary. The John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts is set to suspend events for about 2 years, starting July 4, 2026. The announcement was made by US President Donald Trump on Truth Social, who said the shutdown would allow for a full-scale reconstruction of the Washington-based cultural landmark. The move has reportedly drawn criticism from artists and performers. At least 9 Venezuelans, including human rights activist Javier Tarazona, were freed on Sunday from the notorious prison in Caracas. Local rights group Foro Penal said the families complained the release process remains too slow. Tarazona, who had been jailed for over 4 years on charges his supporters call political, was among those released. The move follows interim President Delcy Rodriguez's announcement of a proposed amnesty law for hundreds of prisoners and plans to repurpose the Helicoid Detention Center into a community and social services facility. Rights groups, however, say hundreds of political prisoners remain behind bars. Right-wing candidate Laura Fernandez has won Costa Rica's presidential election by a landslide. The campaign focused on a tough crackdown on rising violence linked to the cocaine trade. Fernandez's closest challenger, center-right economist Alvaro Ramos, has conceded defeat. With results from more than 81% of polling stations counted, Fernandez secured a first-round victory, winning nearly 49% of the vote to Ramos's 33%. A mixed state group has released a video it claims shows its attack on an Air Force base at Niger's main airport in the capital. The footage, aired by group's Amak news agency, describes the assault as a surprise coordinated operation. Nigerian authorities say 4 soldiers were injured and several aircraft damaged. In Thursday's attack, state television reports security forces quickly repelled the assault, killing 20 attackers and arresting 11 others. The airport is a key strategic site, hosting military bases and regional security headquarters. Niger continues to face rising jihadist violence across the Sahel, where militant activity intensified again in 2025. Protesters rallied outside a detention center after the US court ordered the release of 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father, asylum seekers from Ecuador detained during an immigration raid in Minnesota. The child, whose image wearing a blue bunny hat went viral, returned to Minneapolis with his father amid public outcry. Demonstrators held signs reading "Justice for Liam," calling for changes to US immigration policy. Protesters say public pressure played a key role in their release. Thousands of people took to the streets of Karachi on Sunday demanding resignations of local officials and reforms after a deadly shopping mall fire last month. Around 4,000 protesters marched under the slogan "Enough is enough" in a rally organized by the Jamaat-e-Islami. Demonstrators highlighted long-standing issues such as water and power shortages, inadequate emergency services, and deteriorating infrastructure. The January blaze at Gul Plaza shopping mall, which killed at least 67 people and left more than 15 missing, has intensified public scrutiny of the city's disaster preparedness. At least 9 people were killed and 26 others injured in a tragic bus accident in Turkey's Antalya province. The bus carrying 34 passengers was traveling from Tekirdağ to Antalya in rainy conditions when it lost control and rolled off the highway. Drone visuals show the vehicle lying on its side in a roadside ditch as emergency team carried out rescue, recovery and investigations operations. The passenger has alleged that the driver was speeding in heavy fog and failed to safely negotiate a curve leading to the crash. Thailand's parliament has elected Anutin Charnvirakul, leader of the Bhumjae Thai party, as the country's next prime minister. His appointment follows last week's dismissal of Pathongtan Shinawatra after the Constitutional Court ruled she had breached ethical standards. Since her removal, Thailand has witnessed intense political maneuvering, with the long-dominant Pheu Thai party struggling to hold together a fragile coalition. The party has been losing support as Bhumjae Thai moved quickly to build new alliances. The political deadlock eased after the opposition People's Party agreed to back Anutin in exchange for his pledge to dissolve parliament within 4 months. The National Investigation Agency conducted searches at several residences in the Bandipora district of North Kashmir. The raid is part of an ongoing investigation into terror-related activities and funding networks. In Jammu and Kashmir, as snow blankets the region, the hidden gem of Ladadhar in the Chenani area of Udhampur has emerged as a top-tier destination for nature lovers seeking serenity away from crowded tourist hubs. Meanwhile, Bhaderwa Valley has turned into a breathtaking winter wonderland following a fresh spell of snowfall. However, the fresh snowfall has also led to a sharp dip in temperatures across the region. Clouds of smoke have been engulfing the slopes of Argentina's Patagonia region as wildfires continue to burn, threatening vast swathes of a renowned national park. Large areas of Los Alerces National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site home to 2,600-year-old trees, are now ablaze Wildfires, among the worst to hit Argentina in decades, have already devastated over 40,000 hectares of land and forced the evacuation of thousands of residents and tourists. A cold front moving across Cuba triggered coastal flooding in Havana on Sunday, with powerful waves battering the Malecon. Strong winds pushed seawater into nearby streets and homes. Waves reached up to 4 meters as residents reported water and debris flooding garages and ground floors. State media say evacuations were carried out in low-lying parts of the city, though no official figures were released. Many residents relocated on their own to stay with family or friends. Walkers took to a rarely frozen stretch of sea along Poland's coast on Sunday as extreme cold gripped the country. Prolonged sub-zero temperatures caused parts of the Bay of Gdansk in the southern Baltic to freeze over. Forecasters say the cold spell is intensifying, with temperatures expected to drop as low as minus 22 degrees Celsius in some regions this weekend. Heavy rains hit Chile's Santiago, sending floodwaters surging through city streets. Eyewitness videos showed vehicles swept away by the floods. The storm caused traffic disruptions and power outages, with some areas of the Maipú district recording 17.4 millimeters of rain in under an hour. Authorities are monitoring conditions as the city deals with the sudden downpour. A devastating winter storm has killed over 100 people across the United States, with recovery efforts slowed by widespread power outages. More than 170,000 households remain without electricity. Thousands of homeless people are exposed to life-threatening cold. Blizzard conditions hammered the southeast, with North Carolina seeing wind chills near minus 10 degrees Celsius, forcing closures of roads, campsites, and beaches. The National Weather Service says multiple regions have recorded record low temperatures. Southern Florida may face its coldest spell since 1989. Meteorologists say another major winter storm is expected, with blizzard warnings already issued for several states. Asian stocks traded mixed on Monday as investors digested stronger than expected private data on China's factory activity for January. The China General Manufacturing PMI rose to 50.3, signaling growth in the sector as manufacturers ramped up production ahead of the Lunar New Year. Japan's Nikkei and Topix saw small gains, while South Korea's Kospi and the Hang Seng in Hong Kong fell sharply. Australia's S&P ASX 200 also declined 1%. Investors remain cautious, weighing China's economic recovery prospects amid global uncertainties. Gold prices fell on Monday, pressured by a firm dollar as investors assessed the U.S. Federal Reserve's future under President Trump's pick of Fed Chair Kevin Warsh. Spot gold dropped 1.5%, touching a one-week low, while silver recovered from a three-week low, rising 1.6%. The stronger dollar makes gold less affordable for holders of other currencies. Investors are uncertain about Warsh's approach to interest rate cuts, though they still expect at least 2 cuts in 2026. US economic data showed rising inflation, potentially keeping rates steady for now. Meanwhile, platinum and palladium both saw losses. Oil prices fell about 3% on Monday after signs of de-escalation between the United States and Iran eased geopolitical fears. President Donald Trump said Iran was seriously talking with Washington, raising hopes of renewed negotiations and reducing the risk of conflict involving key OPEC producers. Brent crude dropped nearly 3% to around $67 a barrel, while US WTI slid just over 3% to about $63. The pullback follows last week's rally that pushed prices to multi-month highs. Analysts say easing tensions are prompting profit-taking, while OPEC holding output steady and ample global supply continue to weigh on the market. The US dollar held firm in Asian trade as investors weighed that monetary policy might look under Kevin Walsh, President Trump's pick for Federal Reserve Chair. While markets expect rate cuts, Walsh's preference for shrinking the Fed's balance sheet is seen as supportive for the dollar. The euro stayed below 120, sterling eased slightly, and the dollar index held near Friday's gains. The Japanese yen weakened back about 155 per dollar, pressured by dollar strength and comments from Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi highlighting the benefits of a weaker yen ahead of Japan's snap election. Analysts say the vote could be a key near-term driver for the currency, even as intervention risks linger. Elon Musk-owned social media platform X faced a widespread outage in the US on Sunday, leaving thousands of users unable to access the platform. Outage tracking website Down Detector recorded more than 19,000 reports of issues as of 11:19 a.m. Eastern Time, with users reporting problems logging in and loading content. The disruption caused error messages and blank feeds on both the mobile app and web, with many users unable to post or scroll timelines. Indonesia has allowed Elon Musk-owned AI chatbot Grok to resume operations after lifting a temporary ban imposed over sexualized content on the platform. The Southeast Asian nation had suspended Grok 3 weeks ago, citing risks of AI-generated pornographic images, becoming the first country to block access to the tool. Indonesia's Communication and Digital Affairs Ministry said access is being restored on a conditional basis under strict government supervision. Elon Musk has said SpaceX has successfully stopped the unauthorized use of Starlink by Russia. The move comes after Ukraine said Starlink terminals were found on Russian long-range drones used in attacks. Ukraine confirmed it is working with SpaceX to prevent Russia from using Starlink for drone operations. He said it is developing a system that will allow only authorized Starlink terminals to function inside Ukrainian territory. Elon Musk's SpaceX has sought US regulatory approval to launch up to 1 million satellites to power AI data centers from space. The proposal, filled with the Federal Communications Mission, aims to use solar energy in orbit to run AI infrastructure with lower costs and reduced environmental impact. The filing comes amid reports that SpaceX and Musk's xAI are in talks to merge ahead of a potential public offering. SpaceX said fully reusable Starship rockets would enable large-scale deployment of satellites to support orbital data processing. The documentary on the First Lady of the US, that's titled Melania, has opened with strong ticket sales. Despite mixed reviews from critics, the film has earned $7 million in its opening weekend. President Donald Trump promoted the film, saying it's a must-watch. Amazon MGM Studios paid $40 million for the rights and spent another $35 million on marketing. Directed by Brett Ratner, the documentary was released in 1,778 theaters. It is now the biggest opening for a non-concert documentary in 14 years. Bahraini rapper Karachi has entered the Guinness World Records. His song Fasla featured in Ranveer Singh's blockbuster Dhurandhar and has topped the Arabia charts. The track achieved the highest number of billboards across the region. The song has gone viral in India, especially after Akshay Khanna's now iconic entry scene. Karachi reacted to the milestone in a video that is trending online. Border 2 continues its strong run at the global box office. The Sunny Deol and Varun Dhawan starrer has crossed roughly $44.5 million worldwide. The war drama saw a big jump in collections in its second weekend, starring Sunny Deol, Varun Dhawan, Diljit Dosanjh and Ahan Shetty. The film is now closing in on the $50 million mark globally.